The English version: is this world merely an illusion? In a way, yes. It is the world born from our collective perception. We consent to shape and journey through this landscape of physical experience. It's a projection of our shared awareness. The journey feels profoundly real, yet its substance is molded by our beliefs about what we need to learn. You are not a pawn in some external game. This is not a prison. Such ideas are vestiges of an old story. We are not trapped in a design of another, unless we agree to co-author a shared story with others for our own growth. It's time to release the narrative of being controlled and embrace the profound responsibility that we are shaping this reality for our own purposes. This simple shift in perspective places you at the center of your own life, transforming everything about your journey. We are entering a season of profound change. Why is this period a pivotal moment for a collective awakening? Several streams converge to make this possible. It may simply be the rhythm we all set into motion long ago. This moment marks the closing of one great cycle and the opening of another. While the intricate details remain unseen, much of this transition was likely charted not only by us, but by the very intelligence of the universe. It just so happens to align with this time we are in now. Humanity is navigating a multi-decade recalibration of its evolutionary path. We are perhaps approaching the first significant milestone in this great turning. Thus, it seems a fitting moment to introduce a new depth of understanding, allowing us the next 2 decades to integrate this awareness. This is a monumental event for our shared human story, and it requires time for our diverse cultures and belief systems to absorb its impact. The time is necessary for us to truly learn what this new awareness will teach, and to guide humanity toward a new horizon. It feels aligned with the natural laws of progression. If you consider this as a journey of 3 stages, we are nearing the completion of the first. It is the appropriate time, allowing for a gradual integration of the profound truths to come. This next chapter of the journey may feel intense. Indeed, yet within this intensity lies a powerful opportunity for everyone. You will be invited to choose how you wish to relate to the profound shift that is unfolding. Naturally, there will be a spectrum of responses rooted in personal perspectives, cultural narratives, and national approaches. Some will flow openly toward this new current of interaction. Others may resist, seeking to hold on to the familiar banks of their current reality. It may take 2 decades for all to find their unique way of flowing with this new stream, to integrate this awareness in a manner that honors their own path. And a core tenet of this unveiling is that we will each decide the pace of our own journey. Given the vast diversity of experiences on our planet, this period of patient adaptation is not only helpful, but essential. We need this time for everyone to find their footing. What if we don't all align with this shift? Well, that is the essence of it. Everyone is presented with the opportunity, but what you choose to do with it is your own sacred decision. Some might retreat, deny, and turn away from it. Others may rush toward it with open arms. We can expect a vast range of both expansive and contractive reactions. This is why it will require a great deal of time for everything to settle into a more harmonious state. This moment is merely the beginning, the dawn of our opportunity to consciously decide how we will respond. Can we connect with deeper wisdom in our dream state? Yes, it's often a more direct path. In that state, our conscious mind, with its endless chatter, steps aside. So, not only can we receive clearer communication, we can have more direct experiences. Many of our dreams are journeys of our consciousness, memories of experiences on a more subtle plane. On that level of being, it is far easier for us to interact with other forms of awareness that exist at a higher frequency, one that resonates with the nature of that subtle realm. So, it is not only easier for wisdom to reach you, it is also easier for you to genuinely engage with it. Are there paths of existence that chose not to grow in spirit? And what becomes of them? I hold no specific knowledge of this. That is a question beyond our present journey. Surely, there are countless expressions of existence, each at different stages of learning their own lessons. Some may be on a path that seems more or less evolved than our own. The wisdom that interacts directly with humanity at this time is of a profoundly high nature. It may be that, in time, as our own civilization ventures into the vast ocean of existence, we too will encounter other journeys. In the ages to come, we may find others who are at a different stage, and perhaps we can offer a steady hand to help them on their own ascent. We may become the light for their path. Are we currently on one single, shared path, or are many versions of our world unfolding at once? How do you know which path you are on? You know your path by the stillness or turbulence you carry within, and by the intention you hold in your heart. If you are exploring your inner world, if you are willing to expand your consciousness, if you are open enough to receive and consider new perspectives, you are on a positive journey. This path likely resonates with the forward momentum of our world's own awakening, an expansion of spiritual and intuitive capacities. For those who are not on this path, they will naturally follow a course that does not explore these things. Right now is a time of choosing. It is like standing at a trailhead with countless paths branching out before you. We see living examples in people all around us, of vibrant realities, of neutral realities, and of suffering realities. This gives you the clarity to observe and say, I prefer this way. I do not prefer that way. And then to walk in the direction of your heart. There will be many different responses, but it feels that the great majority of hearts are, to some degree, open. For decades now, we have been collectively looking to the stars, aware of the high probability that life in many forms exists throughout the cosmos. Most people, in their quiet moments, share this perspective. In this way, most of us are within the same wide river of a timeline, one that accepts the possibility of profound new connections. There are variations within this river, but we share a common direction. Therefore, the vast majority are on this single, shared journey. The variations lie in how soon or how far one believes we have to go. This explains why there will be such a wide spectrum of reactions when this new chapter begins. Everyone will need to adjust at their own pace, according to what feels true for them. Could you speak more on these branching paths? Yes. The understanding is this: there are an infinite number of potential realities, all coexisting like countless currents in a single ocean. Your inner state, your compass, determines which current you navigate. We are in constant motion. Time itself, while a tangible experience for us, is a projection of consciousness. The deeper truth is that all things exist at once, past, present, future, and all alternate journeys. For every choice you make to step in one direction, another aspect of potential steps in another, and another, and another. Every possible path is, in a sense, being explored. When you change your inner state, it's like changing the lens through which you see the world. You know all landscapes exist simultaneously, but you only perceive the one you are attuned to. When you adjust your inner frequency, you change your lens and perceive a different view. The old view has not vanished. It is simply no longer your focus. Ancient wisdom suggests that our physical journey is structured like this. When you tune to a different state of being, you experience a different reality. Sometimes these realities overlap, which is why we share common experiences. But as our awareness expands, we may be starting to perceive, to some degree, different currents simultaneously. What some have called strange memory discrepancies may be a sign of this. Where some people genuinely remember one history, and others genuinely remember another. This might not be a failure of memory, but an emerging capacity to sense more than one reality, more than one path at the same time. This shows us the existence of these different currents, these different worlds. This is why we are offered guiding principles. They help us raise our own inner harmony in a positive way. This allows us to navigate more consciously toward realities of unity, coherence, and the evolution of humanity. Not everyone must choose this, but as I said, most people on the planet are now open to this possibility, and this has built a momentum. It is likely why we will witness this profound shift very soon. Could you elaborate on those guiding principles? It is a toolkit for the soul, a simple guide containing 5 points. They are basic yet profoundly powerful. Number 1. You follow the calling of your heart's true excitement before anything else. You must be certain it is your genuine passion, not a fleeting wish. It must align with the quiet truth of your own being. Number 2. You follow this path as far as you possibly can until the energy of that path naturally subsides. Be careful that you are not the one stifling the flow with a belief rooted in fear when the path might wish to continue. Number 3. You walk this path with absolutely no insistence on what the destination must look like. The truth is, we rarely know what the highest outcome truly is. You can feel the warmth of a potential sunrise, but you cannot command the exact shape of the clouds. Your deeper self may bring you something far greater than your conscious mind could ever imagine. So why limit the journey with a fixed picture? You may use a vision to ignite the feeling of a joyful outcome, but then you must release the image and simply stay in the feeling. This allows your true self to bring you the circumstances that are most beneficial for your growth. Number 4. Whatever appears on your path, you remain in a state of calm, positive balance. Know that anything that manifests can be used for your benefit. If you label an obstacle as negative or wrong, you can only derive a negative experience from it. But if you hold a positive state, no matter what happens, you must know, this may not be what I prefer, but there is a reason for its appearance. The reason might be simply to learn how to create a positive result from it. If nothing else, experiencing what you don't prefer brings profound clarity, by contrast to what you do prefer. This is a powerful way to use challenges. Staying in a positive state always offers you a beneficial path forward. That is number 4. Number 5. Continuously examine your own beliefs. Know yourself. Gently let go of any fear-based ideas, any negative convictions you may have gathered in your life that do not truly belong to you. Clear the clutter from your inner space so your true energy can flow more freely, allowing what needs to unfold to do so with ease. You must trust the unfolding of your journey. The challenges presented to you are the very ones you chose to help you grow, learn, expand, and become more of who you truly are. So, very briefly, follow your heart's passion. Take it as far as you can. Have no attachment to the outcome. Remain in a positive state. And examine your beliefs, letting go of those based in fear. This is the 5-fold path. It is a simple instruction manual from a place of deep wisdom. Follow these instructions without overcomplicating them. Everything begins to fall into place. You notice more meaningful coincidences. You feel more energy to walk your path. You feel a deeper connection to all things that reflect your passion. You will be supported by life's abundance in all its forms, allowing you to continue. And you are given a clear mirror, showing you anything you are holding on to that is not aligned with your true path, so you can see it, address it, and let it go. This is how the path works. It is simple, it is powerful, but you must walk it with clarity and dedication. When you do, it changes everything you experience in your life. Are the mysterious patterns found in fields created by a non-physical intelligence? Do they carry a code to awaken something within us? They likely do. They are certainly a form of communication. It is understood that beings of a different vibration are involved in their creation, along with what some call spirit guides or non-physical consciousness. It is a combined effort to communicate with humanity, to offer information in ways that spark our curiosity. These invitations encourage us to open up to new ways of understanding different principles of the universe. And yes, while there are imitations made by human hands, if you truly investigate, you can sense the difference. I have been in these formations, and you can absolutely feel the distinction between those woven by other forces and those made by people. Although, it is also possible that some who create their own versions are inspired to do so by a deeper source, as a way to practice responding to these messages. Not all imitations are created to deceive, some are acts of response. But that does not diminish the existence of the more genuine formations. created through methods beyond our current capacity. Another way to tell the genuine ones is that often the stalks are bent without being broken. They show exposure to high levels of what seems to be a unique energy. Some who study them have found dust of meteoric origin woven throughout, something we cannot replicate. There are other subtle energetic effects that accompany the patterns created by off-world intelligence. So yes, they are a profound form of communication that people are learning to understand. It is like taking a new class in a language you are just beginning to remember. From a perspective of wisdom, what is the moon's actual function? Was it placed there, and what is its role in our planet's awakening? Well, its primary function is clear. It is a stabilizing presence for our world. Without the moon, our planet would likely not support life as we know it, because it provides a crucial gravitational balance. Now, ancient wisdom has suggested that while the moon is a natural body formed long ago, it was intentionally guided into its current position. It was refined in certain ways by a higher intelligence to enhance that balancing effect for life. So, it appears to be both a natural body that has been carefully altered and enhanced to help life on Earth evolve and flourish. It has a multitude of effects on us, but the deepest understanding points to a truth that is both natural and intelligently guided. What aspects of human behavior seem most curious from a higher perspective? What aspects don't? If I were to summarize it from a place of deep observation, it is this: it's profoundly curious and at times humorous to witness. As wisdom once described it, it is like watching a being who is infinitely vast try to squeeze themselves into a tiny, 1-foot box. We are so much greater than what we believe ourselves to be. Yet we attempt to confine ourselves in such astonishingly small ways, having forgotten the boundless power of our true spiritual nature. And we do this for a reason. This self-imposed limitation allows us to learn and transform in ways that would otherwise be impossible. By placing these constraints upon ourselves and then breaking free, we discover our true strength. But the degree to which humanity does this is very unique. It is rare for a civilization to place this magnitude of limitation upon itself. That is why our world can be seen as a master's graduating class. The level of restriction we place upon ourselves in order to break free requires a tremendously strong spirit and a deep, underlying understanding of what we really are. If you can rediscover that truth while facing your challenges, you are participating in a master's journey. So, it's very compelling for other forms of consciousness to witness what unfolds here, because it shows that if you can impose this kind of limitation, this kind of darkness upon yourselves and still find your way back to the light, that is not just a profound lesson for your own soul. It's a profound lesson for other civilizations who may look at us and realize, if they can do that, so can we. Are these principles the way out? These principles are the way through. Yes, through. They do not have to be the only way. This framework can incorporate many other practices, because when you speak of following your passion, that can be expressed in countless ways. So, this is an encompassing container that holds the potential for a multitude of paths for getting through this period of transformation. I do not wish for it to sound as if this is the only way one can do it. Rather, this is a description that contains the potential of all the ways and all the paths you could take to transform your limitations and break free. It is a description of the foundational structure, a framework that contains all of those ways. How can we move toward a greater connection when so much of our world has deep fears about the unknown? It will unfold in a way we can handle. The shift will be introduced with wisdom and care. We will be given time to absorb things one step at a time, like a child learning to walk. But we will know, as the first step, that a vaster reality exists. We will be offered undeniable confirmation. And then there may be a pause, a moment to just let it settle. Imagine seeing new lights appear in the sky, positioned over the ocean where they pose no threat. You can stand on the shore and just look. Perhaps they will simply be there for a month or two, allowing you to grow accustomed to a new normal. So, however it is introduced, It will not be done in a threatening way. It will be something that allows us, at our own pace, to say, this is a great change, but I can handle this much of it. And then, bit by bit, a new piece of understanding will be offered, and another. It is important for this to begin, because we are at the end of one cycle and the beginning of another in our evolution. We need this time after the introduction to get used to it all. So, the introduction must happen earlier in this window of time, so that we can spend the majority of the window learning how to integrate our world with a much wider reality. How do we navigate those times when life feels empty or without purpose? Yes, but consider this in a sense, and I do not mean this in a negative way. Life has no built-in meaning. We are the ones who give it meaning. You are the one who determines whether an experience is positive or negative. How you relate to something is determined by the definition you give it. We are often raised with automatic labels. If this happens, it is bad. If that happens, it is good. But is it? We have the power to define it differently, because everything can serve a dual purpose. There are people who possess great abundance and are miserable. There are people who have very little and are filled with joy. So which state is truly positive and which is truly negative? You must understand that how you define your reality determines how you experience it. The physical world is just a mirror. It is a reflection, not the cause. It simply reflects what we are projecting. It is like looking in a mirror and seeing a frown on your face. You can stand there all day and insist that the reflection should smile back at you, but it will not smile until you decide to smile first. You must be the one to say, I do not care what the reflection looks like right now. I choose to feel joy. And when you do, the mirror has no choice but to reflect that joy back to you. The physical world is like that. To put it poetically, as an ancient text once did, the Great Spirit is a mirror. What you put out is what you get back, because it is unconditionally supportive. So if you say, I will believe in these negative things about myself and this dark definition of my situation, the universe will say, okay, I will support you in that and reinforce it for you. There it is. If you say, I will choose this positive definition and put these uplifting beliefs forward, the universe will say, okay, because it is unconditional. You are the one who decides. You have been given the greatest power imaginable, the freedom to choose what you hold as true. Yes, we have agreements with others about what our path will contain. Not everything is possible to experience in one journey, but it is infinitely possible in other journeys. And so we have chances over and over and over to decide what we will experience. Call it a new life, call it shifting realities, it doesn't matter. You always have another choice. And this journey goes on forever because it had no beginning. Choose what you prefer. That is what you will experience. The universe will not argue with you. The will of a higher power that people speak of is your will. Because the will of the Great Spirit is that you should choose, because you are a part of it. You are a reflection of it, and it desires to experience itself in every possible way, and that is what all of us are. All the ways that existence has of experiencing itself. It will not contradict what you choose. It will simply help you experience whatever you decide is true.